No, that's the wrong one. It's not on there?
Seeing that we're going to introduce the new board reps as part of the Celebration of Excellence right now.
Yeah.
So I'll do the salutatorian and SAS first, and then I'll turn it over to our board reps to introduce the new board reps.
The new
And
ones.
then we'll bring up the agenda for the
And I'll,
CNA.
but we're gonna do the, class for the kids. All together. Okay. I'll find it, don't you worry. Yeah, we'll get a copy. In fact, let me ask you.
Someone already did this. Wait, what are we trying? Forgot about it. I want to read the beginning of the FHS school season. I'm assuming you want to read it.
So you could read the whole thing.
You don't want to read the robotics.
The number is always nice. Okay. Should we get this party started? Good evening, everyone. What a wonderful night of celebration we're going to have. Could everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Oh. Who's here? Oh, okay. Board reps, could you lead us in the pledge, please? Thank you. And now I'm going to turn the meeting over to Mr. Medancy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. An exciting celebration of excellence this evening. We have a couple of introductions to make and acknowledgements as well. And I'd like to start this evening's celebration. Noah Reichert, our class valedictorian, could not be here this evening, so we will recognize him at our June 22nd meeting, but our salutatorian and our essayists are here. And so if I could ask Ethan Giordano and Sophia LeBlanc to come up, please. So I'd like to introduce each to you and to our community as part of our acknowledgement. So our salutatorian this year, Ethan. So Ethan Giordano is Southington High School's salutatorian for the class of 2023. He is an exemplary student and athlete. Ethan is a highly intelligent and talented young man. He has a strong work ethic and determination to succeed. Ethan is a student in Southington High School's elite pre-engineering program, Project Lead the Way. There, Ethan illustrates his tremendous collaboration and leadership skills. Ethan is also a member of Southington High School's cross-country and outdoor track teams. As a member of the team, Ethan has the unique ability to bring out the best in others by creating a warm and calming environment with his wit and friendly demeanor. Ethan is highly regarded by both his classmates and teachers. In addition to his academics and sports, Ethan has also contributed countless hours to the Southington community as a member of the Southington High School's National Honor Society. Ethan plans to attend the University of Connecticut in the fall and major in chemical engineering. Our 2023 class salutatorian, Ethan Giordano. Okay. And our 2023 class essayist, Sophia LeBlanc, is a quintessential student, highly inquisitive and passionate about learning. In addition to pursuing a highly rigorous academic program through SHS's general curriculum, Sophia has participated in the very demanding Project Lead the Way engineering program as well. Her critical thinking, organizational, and leadership skills have allowed her to stand out in Project Lead the Way. Sophia has been very active in her school and community through participation in the National Honor Society, World Language Honor Society, Women in Science and Engineering, Southington STEPS program, the Governor's Prevention Partnership, and the Live Girl Leadership Council. Her academic accolades include the AP Scholar Award with Distinction, AP Outstanding Achievement Awards in Literature and Composition, Citizenship in Action, and Biology, the Robert McFarland Book Award, and the Martin Luther King Jr. Award. Thus, her fine achievements in service within her school and community have earned her high respect from teachers, faculty, administrators, and community leaders. Sophia LeBlanc.
To say you two are impressive is putting it mildly. Just the accomplishments, and you're how old?
18.
18. Okay, okay. We had the privilege the other night, Mrs. Anastasio, Mr. Medancy, and myself, and Mr. Crocker, there he is, we were at the Top 25 dinner. And to be around students of this caliber makes me think back to my high school days. I wasn't even close. But to know that we're graduating students who already have this drive, this determination, this gift, and are moving forward to colleges with dreams that, when I was their age, they didn't even exist. That's how old I am. But we are truly honored to have you here tonight, and I'd like to read the plaque that we're going to be presenting to both of you. Having duly qualified under the standards prescribed by the Southington Public Schools, you are here both by awarded this Certificate of Excellence for the class of 2023. In witness whereof, the seal of the Southington Board of Education, the signature of the Board of Education chairperson, and the superintendent of schools is hereunto affixed on this 8th day of June, 2023. Come back, visit, tell us all the wonderful things you're doing, because we want to hear how well you're doing in the future, okay? Come back and hold, all right? Thank you. Okay, I have one question, Mom. Did I have her in nursery school?
No.
Oh.
I think she was in the pool for a little bit when you were there.
I know I had,
You had Gabe.
I had Gabe, but I was trying to remember if I was your first teacher or not. One of them, I was one of her first. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
So, Mrs. Clark, and I just would be remiss if I did not acknowledge this. It was on the back of the page. I apologize. Sophia is attending Harvard in the fall.
Yes.
All right. So, at this point, we would like to turn over this portion of our celebration to our board reps to introduce our new board reps.
So I'd like to start off by saying that I had a great time working with Andrew and Ryan this year. I was able to learn a lot from them, and I had a great time collaborating with them and also helping out our school community. I'm definitely going to miss them next year, but I'm also excited to work with our new representatives as well. We had around 23 applicants, so it was a really hard decision. Everybody was a great caliber candidate. Any one of them could have been a great Board of Ed rep. So without further ado, we're also going to have big shoes to fill, but I'm also very excited to see what they bring to the table. So firstly, I'd like to introduce our first representative, Chelsea Arduini, who's a rising senior.
Good evening, board. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. My name is Chelsea Arduini. I am a rising senior here at Southington High School, and I am very excited to be your newest Student Board of Education representative. Ever since a young age, I have always had a passion for helping those in need and rallying people together to fight for a brighter future. I will make it my honor and duty to be the voice of students at Southington High School, to make sure no problem is overlooked and no accomplishment goes without its proper recognition. Southington High School is a community with many different students. As a student representative, I plan to take the time with my fellow students to listen to their problems and achievements and be able to create amazing strides within our community. Though we are young, we shouldn't be looked down upon as less creative and hardworking as everyone else. I will make it a priority to make the voices of students at Southington High School heard and respected. Thank you, board, for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself and the chance to be a student representative. I'd like to quickly wish Ange and Ryan the best of luck in college. You guys really set the bar high for us next year. I'd also like to acknowledge my fellow student representatives, Utesh and Akery. I look forward to collaborating with you two next year. Thank you, and have a good night.
And I would also like to introduce Akery Wynn, who is our second Board of Ed representative and is a rising junior.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to meet you guys.
I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Ikri Nguyen, and I am thrilled to be serving as a student representative on the school board. I'm currently a sophomore, soon to enter junior year. First and foremost, I would like to thank Mr. Krakow for entrusting me with this important responsibility, as well as to the current student representative who have paved the way for me. Your hard work and commitment have set a remarkable example, and I hope to continue the legacy of representing our student body with integrity and passion. Allow me to share a little bit about myself. Beyond my role as a student representative, I am a passionate advocate for personal growth and well-being. I've always believed that nurturing our mental, emotional, and physical health is essential for leading fulfilling life. To further this mission, I host a podcast that provides self-care advice sophisticatedly tailored to teenagers. Through this platform, I aim to empower my peers to prioritize their well-being and develop the skills necessary for personal growth. In addition to my podcast, I also maintain a blog focused on self-development. Here, I explore various topics such as goal setting, resilience, and effective communication, aiming to inspire and support my fellow peers in their journey towards becoming their best selves. Through these additional platforms, I aspire to make a positive impact on the lives of my peers, encouraging them to thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. This experience has allowed me to develop leadership skills and foster teamwork. As a student representative, my primary goals are to listen to your concerns, advocate for positive change, and create an inclusive environment that values the diverse perspective and needs of each student. I am committed to collaborating with each and one of you and to strive for a continuous improvement. Once again, thank you and good luck to Ryan and Ange, and I look forward to working with all of you along the side with Uptaj and Chelsea to make a lasting impact on our school community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, thank you. We look forward to working with you as well, especially with all the enthusiasm that you are bringing. Not that you two aren't enthusiastic by any stretch of the imagination. However, to have you on our board, to share your thoughts, to share your ideas, to share your insight, means more to all of us than you could possibly know. You lived 4 years at that high school. You saw, you shared, you taught us many things. And for that, know that we are always going to be grateful for your input. We always listened to what you had to say. We valued what you had to say. We're glad that you broadened the scope of the job to include the other schools, because you truly are the students that represent to the Board of Education. So we are grateful. We are sorry to see you leave, but we're excited for you because you're moving on to bigger and better things. And as Mr. Daranowski always asked, come back, because we want to hear whether or not we've prepared you properly, even though we know we have. We want to hear what you have to say about college and how Southington High School got you ready for it. So in that light, I'm going to read this. A certificate of excellence, one for each of you. Having duly qualified under the standards prescribed by the Southington Public Schools, you are hereby awarded the certificate of excellence for student board representative. In witness whereof, the seal of the Southington Board of Education and the signature of the Board of Ed chairperson and the superintendent of schools is hereunto affixed on this 8th day of June. Come back, study hard, do well, and let us know how things go. Okay, promise? You promise. All right.
Let me start by saying thank you to the board for creating this opportunity, not only for me, but for every student who was and will be Board of Education representatives. By allowing students to sit with you, you help bridge the gap between decision makers and those who are directly impacted by those decisions. This position doesn't come to many, so I'm extremely grateful for the encouragement from the board, Mr. Krakow, Ryan Uptaj, as well as Jaleesa and Ethan.
This position has taught me an incredible amount that I do not take for granted. I will bring all the lessons I learned with me to college and beyond. Being the representative who sat on the board for 2 years, there is no doubt that we've been through a lot. From every meeting last year having an hour of public comment, to being on Fox News this year, it is safe to say that I had a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Once again, thank you, and I hope next year the new representatives continue what we've started with the same passion and drive as Ryan and I possess.
Good evening. I'll shorten this up because it's a little long. So oftentimes students have the notion that board reps' only responsibilities are biweekly meetings and report on activities and sports events. I can assure you that our work extends far beyond these meetings. We seek to continuously improve the school environment for our peers. When we hear of an issue, we do everything to ensure it gets addressed. When we have an idea to help students, we make sure that the event gets carried out. And when we want to get feedback, we go directly to the students because they know best. From attending the CABES CAPS conference to attending school improvement team meetings with administrators and faculty from all SHS departments, to our biweekly meetings with Mr. Krako, where we often discuss student matters and other things in the school that could be better, that we oftentimes don't include in our reports. And he endured our pressing questions. Definitely. I don't think he knew what he was getting into. We definitely challenged him. And obviously these meetings, I could say that the three of us work tirelessly to make the school a better place. Additionally, many of the events that we report on at these meetings are events we all physically attend to support a variety of organizations and teams so as to fully understand the student community. Although Ange and I are on to our big next step, I will undoubtedly make sure to visit when I am back on breaks. And while I may be looking too far into the future, I suspect that there is a potential run for a board position for me down the road. So I just want to say thank you to all the board members for your support over the past year. Of course, a huge thank you to Mr. Medancy, Mr. Pepe, and everyone else in central office. And thank you to all the faculty and teachers at Southington High School and throughout the district. I wouldn't be where I am today without all of you. My friends and family have played a gigantic role in supporting me through all of my work in the classroom and community. And I would also like to congratulate Chelsea and Pam on their appointment. You two demonstrated unparalleled scholastic and personal contributions to our community, as well as a clear leadership and commitment. You have our utmost support. I challenge you to continue everything we left behind, while creating a variety of new ideas, practices, and opportunities that may come to mind. Remember, you are representing the students. If you see something that could be better, no matter how small, take action to do something and don't take no for an answer. And finally, the students. You are what makes this community so unique. You are why we lead the entire nation in softball championships. You are why we sent 250 pounds of medical supplies and personal care products to Ukraine. You are why we raised enough money through the GLO Clean Water Initiative to fully fund a hand washing and personal hygiene station at a school in Uganda. You are why we make a strong presence as being the next generation of business leaders, competing and winning on national and international levels for our innovative ideas. You are why we donated 83 bags of blood to the American Red Cross this year, potentially saving up to 249 lives. This list could go on and on. It has been an honor to represent these talented students and so many more. Thank you for this opportunity that I will never forget, and I look forward to checking back in the fall when I return from school. Thanks so much.
Ryan, if you don't run for board, you might run for Senate. Your public speaking skills are pretty impressive for a young man your age. Angelina, also wonderful testament and representation. Thank you. Now I would like to welcome Ms. DeSenza and some special guests we have with us from Tungsas University.
Good evening. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to speak tonight and to present this evening. Southington High School has continued to pursue and explore career pathways It's important that we continue to expand our college and career opportunities for students. This evening, I have some special guests joining me from Connecticut Community College, the Tunxus site. I have Shannon Burr, Shayna Hamill, and Aaron Mall. And together we partnered to bring a certified nurse's aide program to Southington High School students. This venture began with us collaborating over virtual meetings, bringing an in-person informational session to students. During school hours, we were registering students and hosting a student and parent evening one night. We navigated this process together. We learned a lot of our experience, and we hope to continue the partnership. The students, I will soon announce, embarked on a rigorous 8-week program that consisted of lectures via Blackboard Online and clinical rounds at Southington Care Center. This work was in addition to their full-time school workload, and I know that all of the students are quite involved in our school community too. I'd like to extend a thank you to Mr. Risser, our athletic director, and the spring coaching staff, because they accommodated our students. Some of them had some CNA requirements overlapped with their sports. So I'd like to extend a thank you to him and his staff. I'd also like to thank the families who supported their students on this endeavor. And I'd like to thank the students for participating, and I hope that this was a meaningful experience for you. And thank you for your hard work and dedication. Their instructor, Shannon Burr, would like to say a few words before we call you up.
I just wanted to thank the Board of Education, Southington High School, Tunxus Community College, the parents, and the students for making this program happen. I look forward to seeing you in the future. I hope I see you out there in the field. We learned a lot from each other, whether it was the Niagara Falls I created in the classroom, the feisty clients, or all the patients that you fell in love with. I thank you.
And if we can just have the students come up, we'll give you your certificates, and we have a small token of gift from the Southington High School administration, and I'd like to get a photo if we could. So I'm going to start with Alana Brown. Do you want to just, is that okay? Isabella Cristello. Joseph DePace.
Alana.
Oh, yeah. Sophie Kastner. Jaden LeBray. Is it Mia? Mia Peters. Natalie Salerno couldn't be here this evening, but we are still recognizing her. She had a conflict with an event. Pam Wynn. Is that everybody? Okay. Was the one that wasn't there? Okay. Thank you. I'm just going to take a quick photo and.
Mr. Crocco's on it. He's
Oh,
ready to
okay,
go.
perfect. Why don't you guys go with them, please?
Yeah, we're going to get out of your way. We're going to take a quick recess so we can, don't go, don't leave, because we want to say hi and congratulate you in person, especially, I think, Mr. Bajewski. Would you, yeah.
This is so exciting for me. I think I've been, ever since elected to the board, is trying to get other healthcare offerings to our students at Southington High. And I mean, this is very exciting because you guys are going to be heading into a field where you can branch off wherever you want to go, whether it's nursing, whether it's being a PA, doctor, medical, or even going into veterinary medicine. You know, this is really a great launching pad for you guys, where, you know, it's a meaningful job that you can actually be career ready, as we always like to go back to our credo. So congratulations, guys. This is pretty impressive that you're able to make it through. 8 weeks is cram time. Like, that's crazy. So congratulations. Well done.
And when you do break, I'd like to encourage you to have conversations with them about where are they going, because I know some have already had interviews, and I know that some are going off to college and are looking to have some hours for internships too.
I want to say hi to you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, every time I see you, leave it. I know, right? Crazy. I know. Well, oh my God. Just don't blink. Yeah. Things just happen, right? You just, she hasn't changed at all. When I see her, I go, yeah. She's just taller. She just keeps getting taller. She's short. I really recognize you right away, though. They both look the same. It's like watching my I know. I mean, what I need is 4 days. But she loves it, so I'm like, all right, how many more? Yeah, it was a freshman, but she'll be a sophomore. So she's like blind there behind. Right? So you can kind of go in a row like me and Chloe came up, but she was always the baby. Yeah, I know, fast. Like I said, don't blink, seriously. I've kind of been in denial that it's happening again, but now these events are happening, and I'm like, is this me? No, they just get dressed up and they do things. Next Wednesday. I'll not see you later, and then I'll deny it. Yeah, I know. I feel for you because kind of go, okay, nobody's going anywhere. It's kind of hard to think like we're going to go through the whole thing. I don't know how people do it back to back because they're like, I let one go, and the next year they're like no.
You work at ISP? SAS doesn't do speech, right? Okay, all right. I got to get that down.
You speak beautifully all the time. So passionate. Every event.
we're on you a little bit. So when you're around the kids, it brings you back down. Like, okay, that's why I'm here.
Absolutely.
So thanks.
So comfortable that is makes us feel good as parents.
Well, good. I mean, she's listening to her speak the other night. I mean, you got it down, you know. So I can't wait to hear about how you do there. I love that whole area. My daughter Casey, originally that's where she wanted to go to school. Not Harvard. She could have gotten into Harvard, but just the whole area she loved. So she was looking at Northeastern, VU, that kind of thing. She ended up down in Virginia because at William and Mary, you know. Well, I'll let you know because she just finished her freshman year at UConn and she's transferring to William and Mary. So we visited William and Mary originally, and then she chose UConn for financial reasons, and she really just didn't like it, you know. I think she compromised, you know, and then we decided to put her in a transfer application to William and Mary, and they basically gave her the same amount of money so she's paying the same as if she went to UConn. So we're going that way.
Yeah, I took a break
Yeah.
for a little bit, and I got home and nobody was there.
I know what you're going through. My other daughter is the one that's a senior now, and so she's going to Pitt. So I have one going 7 hours west and one going 7 hours south. So my wife's getting a little like, she was close. Harvard's nice, 2 hours. You can get there on weekends.
You get there, you can come on. When I listen to people and they're like, oh, we're going to totally enough.
I have one going into 10th grade, and that poor kid, you know. Yeah, for you it's nice. Holidays, it's easy to get home.
And you just feel like get to
You
that.
need to get there, you need to get there.
Oh.
How are you? Complaints, you know, it's another year. It's, this year flew by, you know, again, which is good, but it's also exhausting.
Of course.
It just seems every year, I mean, I think there gets to be points where it's like, be done, you know? But no, I mean, this year's been good, yeah. You know, they're fun. But
Kind of like seems like it's nice.
just seeing everyone.
So my dad's a big he's still here. Yeah.
You're gonna work this summer?
Yeah, they're going to be teachers, I think.
As much as everybody says they're hired, that a lot of the college kids don't get home, so kind of the math are going to exaggerate for that. That kind of stuff. And then, you know, she doesn't have as much. So for your daughter, yeah, not everybody can fit that. Yeah. No, I want to get and she goes, like, let's say she wants to be a nurse practitioner or whatever, she's got a lot towards that. So she's like, smart. Very smart.
Your mom's not going to breathe.
Just see you too.
I just told her, I said, you're not going to breathe for the next year. She said you haven't changed. But to you, you kind of, yeah.
Explain this. The role of Mrs. Harmon.
Good luck. Keep it posted.
I go to the green.
Me too, and I'm so angry because I have tried so. I've taken the dirt up. I put new
You know
dirt
what,
down.
can I explain why it might not be happening?
No. It's like the whole thing. It's the whole
Yeah,
thing. And where my dad is too. It's the whole thing. They did a horrible job there. But yeah, I mean, yeah, what a guy.
He was my teacher and a dear friend. I traveled with him.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, he was an amazing guy.
Tell Deb that you met Maureen,
I will. I'll text her right now and let her know.
and I hope she's her health.
And it's remission, and then it comes and it goes.
Right, and I have a friend that had the same thing. My friend had passed. We miss you dearly, but I'm happy now.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. Take care.
All right, where's Colleen? Let's go. Right, correct. Okay, so, all right. Right there. All right, so what is it, 110? I can. Yeah, 110, 460. Okay, yeah, we'll switch it up. Yeah, so I'll just go with this.
And next year you could say, I'm having the high school every year. No. I hope I got a picture. Where's Colleen?
You said right after that. So whatever it is, 8. All right, I'll make the motion.
I really would say I would do some of this, but I just don't.
He's taking one for the team.
Okay, we are ready.
That's true.
You can cut out the PO sponsored tonight.
Dad. All right, now you're ready.
Having dinner.
What's that, a bang on the?
That was Thea. Okay, we're just waiting 2 more minutes, and then we'll resume the meeting. I was asked to hold on for a moment. I'm just waiting for Joe.
Looks very pensive.
What do you have over there?
Some sugar-free candy.
No.
Back on my keto.
Sugar-free?
Don't judge me.
I'm judging. Sugar-free?
Try one. Don't.
Colleen, don't do it, it's fake sugar.
I'm not, I don't eat fake sugar. No, I know better.
I think they warn you about that on the bag, Colleen.
Do they? Yeah, I can't eat those.
Oh my God.
I can only eat the real stuff. Or Diet Coke. Okay, we're just gonna wait for Mr. Krzyzewski.
I think our nurse ran to the hospital.
No, he just had to step out for a moment. Unlike me, what are you laughing at, Mrs. Carmody? Did you tell him? Yes? Yes.
Mrs.
No,
Carmody
he
is
had
just is just laughing at the statement that he ran somewhere.
Chew, Zaya, chew. Chew. Here he comes. Okay. No, they're not, no, they taste fine. It's just that,
Oh, that's right, that's fantastic.
okay.
Empty. Empty.
You back? You're back. Okay. Like to call this meeting back into order. I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes of May the 25th.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving right along. Communications from our student reps. Students.
Good evening, board. For one last time, I will start our report with news from the high school. On May 31st, Seven Angels Theater hosted the 20th Annual Halo Awards at the Palace Theater. The Southington High School Drama Club received the following awards: Tim Nivison for Best Stage Management, Tim Nivison for Artistic Director, Lily Percival for Best Performance by a Leading Actress in a Contemporary Musical for her performance as Elle Woods in Legally Blonde, and lastly, the cast of the fall show, the 25th Annual Putnam Spelling Bee, won for the best performance by a cast in an ensemble production. On June 1st, class night took place. It was an overall successful night where friends could have a stress-free time to connect with each other as their high school days come to an end. Class day took following the next day, June 2nd, at High Meadows. Although most students who went were able to have some fun, it seems like the class of 2023 would not recommend High Meadows to the class of 2024. Less than half of the class of 2023 attended this field trip, as many were unhappy with the selection of High Meadows, as the class of 2022 got to go to Six Flags. The Top 25 dinner took place on June 6th, and it was a wonderful night where the top 25 of the class of 2023 were recognized for their hard work. As the year is coming to an end, final exams have also started. Finals will be taking place over the next 3 school days. Although the students are stressed about finals, they are also excited to get their classes over and done with. As all of you know, graduation will take place on June 14th at 5:30 p.m. The class of 2023 is very excited to be able to say, we did it. And lastly, as the school season is coming to a close, the robotics off-season events have started up. The past weekend, the team competed in the WPI Battle Cry and won the Programming Award. The team is getting ready for their next events of Where is Wolcott Invitational, CT State Champs, and Indiana Robotics Invitational, which are all taking place across June and July.
Here we go. So as promised, we have an update on a survey that was sent out at Southington High School. Earlier this semester, the Board of Ed Rep team spotted a recurring pattern of student complaints in our end-of-semester survey surrounding BCAP, the high school's capstone program. Because of this, we mentioned in one of our reports that we would be conducting a survey to gain more specific insight into students' opinions. The information we have came from a student citizenship and action survey sent out in April, taken by more than 1,100 students at the high school. The responses overwhelmingly stated that the students were oftentimes confused on the requirements set forth in their e-portfolio, frustrated by the inconsistencies throughout the past couple of years, and that they felt as though their time was not well spent. Students did, however, appreciate that the capstone period gave them time to interact with faculty and advisors to gain valuable life lessons. Although students were told that having a cumulative capstone project by graduation was a state requirement, they also fully understand that the legislation is vague in its wording and that districts are given freedom with the program they set forth. After reviewing student responses from the survey and talking with students individually about their experiences, the student representative team's recommendation to the administration is to create a passion project where students could choose a field, occupation, or activity that they are interested in pursuing in the future and curate their research, expertise, and dedication into a cumulative end-of-year project. Other districts have similar models as this, and something comparable to this suggestion would not only fulfill the state's capstone requirement, but it also directly relates to the 5 C's, Southington's vision of a graduate, and allows for students to be engaged in a project that they feel passionate about. The past couple of years, the capstone program in Southington has had inconsistent requirements, faculty confusion, a number of different program leaders, and constrained students to define parameters that ironically contradict the creativity section of the Vision of a Graduate and requirement in the course. The Passion Project would fix this, and we hope that the administration can create an engaging BCAP course for next year that fixes the overwhelming frustration if the requirement is still kept from the state. Last year, following the CABES CAPS conference in November, the board reps spoke at length in our report about a bylaw we would like to add to the district that ensures student Board of Ed reps for the years to come, making them a required, necessary function of the Southington Board. The bylaw also explains that Board of Ed reps can add items to the agenda with superintendent's permission and outlines the selection process by which new Board of Ed reps are chosen for the following year. The three of us dedicated a lot of time outlining a bylaw, Series 9000, for the Board of Ed in hopes that it could be passed. Mr. Pepe is currently looking over it, and it will be put in front of the Personnel and Policy Subcommittee at their next meeting. We work closely with Eileen Baker, a member of the Old Saybrook Board of Ed and member of the CABES Board of Directors, to construct this bylaw in a careful way that would prove to be relevant for generations to come. Angelina and I were hopeful that this could be passed as we exit our term because we strongly believe in everything the bylaw contains and want to make certain that student voice will never go away.
So now going on to the athletics. The Blue Knights softball program, with an undefeated record of 26 wins and no losses on the season, plays for its national record of 21 state championships in Connecticut's 50th anniversary softball tournament at UConn softball facilities Saturday night at 7 o'clock versus Fairfield Ludlow. The team also won the conference championship for the third consecutive year. The boys volleyball team advanced to the state Class LL semifinals, losing to Trumbull 3-1 after winning an unbelievable opening set of 31-29. The team finished with an overall record of 20 wins and only 5 losses. The baseball team reached the quarterfinals of the Class LL tournament, losing a heartbreaking 2-1 game to Fairfield Ward in a rematch of last year's CIAC championship final. The girls lacrosse team won the CCC tournament championship, and the boys lacrosse team qualified for their CCC postseason tournament. Both the lacrosse teams won a game in the state playoffs. Both the girls and boys tennis teams qualified for the state tournaments, losing in the opening rounds to Ridgefield and Enfield, respectively, after very successful regular seasons. The girls outdoor track team finished second and the boys team third in the CCC championships. Both teams performed well in the Class LL and the state open meet, with qualifiers from both teams competing in the New England Championships this weekend in May. Once again this spring, all Blue Knights teams competed in CIAC postseason play. Congratulations to all the SHS student athletes and their respective coaching staff. Now moving on to the other schools in the district, starting off with Flanders. The Flanders PTO held their first annual Flanders Flash Color Dash, which was a fun run fundraiser. The students were so successful that they earned slamming the principal, the PE teacher, and the nurse at field day. Fun was had by all. Moving on to JFK, congratulations to 7th grade Ryan Titsworth, who was recently recognized by SIFMA as a Connecticut State winner of the Invest Right Challenge. The Invest Right Challenge allows students to write about their experiences playing the stock market game and explains their investment strategies. Mrs. Elizabeth Radel, director of the stock market game program, visited JFK on Monday to speak with the 7th graders and present Ryan with their award. Thank you to the dedicated members of the PTO for transforming JFK's blacktop and grounds into an incredible carnival event at JFK last Friday. This exclusive 8th grade event was a success with carnival treats, foods and games, a dunk tank, where 8th graders were able to dunk JFK staff. JFK is happy to honor their top achieving students at tonight's annual awards night program. Many students were recognized for their outstanding achievement. Moving on to DePaulo, grade 5 students visited DePaulo for their orientation on June 2nd. Students from Kennedy and DePaulo will be getting together at the SHS Class 2027 at Holiday Hill to celebrate their class day. Thank you to SHS for hosting the grade 8 class at both middle schools for transition days on May 30th and June 1st. Last Thursday evening, 73 grade 8 students at DePaulo were recognized at the annual awards night. Special thanks to board member Mrs. Anastasio for attending. On Monday, DePaulo will be welcoming flamenco dancers to teach about the art and culture of southern Spain in a lively and fully engaging workshop. Students will experience and learn about the dance and music involved in the Spanish art and will actively engage in rhythmic patterns through palmas, castanet exercises, and zapateo. The program will also review the history, geography, and culture of southern Spain, as well as the different populations that led to the creation of flamenco. DePaulo's Middle School's Garden Club, Food for Thought, officially had their first meeting today, and they'll be tending to the garden throughout the summer. Be sure to stop by their farm stand this summer. And that concludes our report. Please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Awesome.
Any questions from the board members?
Couple comments.
Go for it.
First of all, thank you to all three of you. I know this is, coming to the end of the school year, and your cycle on the board here is coming to an end. So I just want to extend my appreciation and say thank you to all three of you and the entire student body that you've interacted with over the course of this year. Ryan, a special thanks to you for reporting back to us on the survey. Obviously, that was, a personal thing for me because I think it connects us with the student body. Obviously, we have you here, and I'll be very interested to see the bylaw that you've presented because I do see the value in having students as part of our board. So thank you for sharing the survey results and summarizing it for us. I think that will definitely move the needle forward in conversations, not only in this district, but statewide. And then just one other thing, Angelina, on the robotics competitions this summer, where are the locations of those?
I'll take this one since I'm on the robotics team.
Okay.
So the WPI Battle Cry that happened at Worcester Polytechnic Institute that occurred this past weekend. The Where's Wolcott Invitational is occurring in Wolcott on this weekend on Saturday. It's a one-day event. And then CT State Champs is occurring at the Hartford Armory. And then lastly, Indiana Robotics Invitational is occurring in Indiana. I'm not sure exactly what town, but those details will be coming shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if I could. Yeah.
Sure.
Again, I kind of want to echo part of what Sean said. Thank you very much for your time, everything that you've kind of done and contributed to the board. Personally, I look forward to seeing the bylaws, so Mr. Pepe, I look forward to seeing that at our policy and personnel meetings. But again, it's what you guys have contributed, what you've brought each week or each meeting, each month. I can't say enough about it, so thank you again.
Mr. Jaranowski?
Yeah, I'm going to repeat what I repeat every year. Mrs. Clark brought it up earlier. We do expect you to come back next year. It doesn't have no specific date, but we have had other high school reps. We have a couple, I think, that are still sitting out here in the audience. They do pop in from time to time.
I think they're waving.
But it is great to see how well you're doing. We have very high expectations of where we think you should be. So I'm hoping that you don't disappoint us. I know you won't. But just a little prodding there. So anyway, next year, the year before, year after, we'd love to have you come back.
Mr. Roshana?
I just want to echo that also, but also say, and thank you to the reps that are here and to you guys, because what you did is you didn't just act as the voice of the students at the high school. You acted as the voice for the students across the district, and that's really important because you're student reps. You're not high school student reps. You're student reps. So you brought us stuff from the elementary schools, the middle schools, and the high school. And I think you said it to your folks that are going to be taking your place, and I know that was part of your process to make sure they understood that. Thank you, because without your voices, we don't hear that stuff. The survey, without your voices, we don't hear that stuff. So thank you, and reiterate to them, not just the high school, very important area, but middle school, critical. Elementary schools are critical as well. Thank you very much, and best of luck.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you. You guys did a great job. And just to reiterate what Mr. Jaranowski said, yeah, come back and visit anytime.
Just to add on, not to belabor the point, but guys, stay curious. You guys were curious in a particular situation and you thought like, how can we make something better? And you guys were able to get input from a bunch of your peers and help us to create something better in district that, again, people can buy into because now it's student-driven, right? And I can't stress enough, like, consistently be curious, stay in a constant state of discomfort, because I'm telling you, you guys have the ability to change what we're doing in this world. So, Keep kicking ass. I love it.
Mrs. Carmody, did you want to say something?
I guess maybe I better say something too. So all I can say is thank you. You've done a wonderful job. It's been a pleasure, and I know you will come back to visit us and tell us how you're doing. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you. Good luck next year.
You're good? And Ryan, let us know what office you're going to be running for, okay? Just throwing that out there, whenever it is, okay? Just let us know. Okay.
You have to be 35 to run the.
Give him time, give him time. Just give him time. No, Ethan was going to be, no, Ethan, wait, no, Ethan, you were running for senator, weren't you? No, what was it? And I'm shocked because, yeah, we have high flyers here. Okay, moving right along. Communication from board members. Mr. Darrenowski.
Just to verify, next Wednesday is a graduation.
I think maybe, yeah, perhaps.
You're
Can
not going
we-
to let me know what the exact date?
Well, we'll ask Mr. Medancy.
As long as there's not a giant plume of smoke over the football
Please.
field or rain, we're on.
Okay.
We're going to meet our normal time at
Yes, in the high school atrium at 4:30.
4:30.
Okay, good to know, good to know. Anyone else? Mr. Carson, did you have something?
I just want to make sure that there's an available golf cart for Mrs. Carmody.
Ooh, yeah.
Are you making fun of me, Sean?
No, I'm making sure you're taken care of.
Thank you, Sean. I
Aw.
appreciate it. Isn't he sweet?
And Mr. Darrenowski.
And I have to add something to that, Sean. I know you and I have been delegated as her
Yes,
Guard.
escorts.
bodyguard.
Chaperones.
Chaperones,
Okay.
escorts.
I guess I need a lot of help, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Ms. Carmody, if I, or Ms.
Yeah.
Clark, if I could. Yeah. No, just, right, we all know graduations, it's less than a week away, right? So I had the pleasure of seeing some of my family graduate. I was able to travel this week. It's an awesome experience, and I know everyone's excited and looking forward to it. Just a reminder to all the students, right? Be smart. You've got 1 week to go. Just keep pushing through it, so.
Yes. Anyone else? Okay. Communication from the administration, Mr. Medancy.
Thank you, Mrs. Clark. So it is my honor to announce that we presented 2 Teacher of the Year awards this past Monday. Megan Scam was the Southington High School Teacher of the Year, and we were able to surprise her. And, you know, definitely heartfelt, and she was surprised and appreciative. And Megan Evans, a teacher at Strong Elementary School, is the District Teacher of the Year. So we also, the emotion and the surprise and the appreciation that she showed definitely showed why she was worthy. So just grateful and humble. So we will present, as we always do, her in the fall, and she will be speaking. You know, they always, it's nice, and then you remember you have to give a speech at convocation. And then they say, oh, no, you know. But they always, all of our Teachers of the Year hit it
They're
out of
always
the park every time
Yes.
when they do. So I'm looking forward to hearing her thoughts. And then Mrs. Anastasio and yourself and I had a chance to attend the Unico Top 25 dinner. And I think, you know, I've been giving shout outs to Ryan and Uptej, but I think Ms. McCacci down there might have been acknowledged at the Top 25 as well. And so congratulations to you, a shout out. And it was nice to see our student reps really cleaned it up this year with all the recognition and acknowledgement. So nice job. And that concludes my report for this evening.
Okay. Any questions of the administration? Okay. Communications from the public regarding agenda items only. If you come up, if you could give your name and your address, please.
Yes, good evening. My name is Tracy Ianni. I live at 46 Alpine Trail in Plantsville. I don't have any prepared remarks tonight, and I am very nervous, so I apologize if I stumble. I stood before you 2 weeks ago to urge, encourage, and plead with you to avoid eliminating these 2 6th grade teams at DePaulo and Kennedy Middle School. I've lived in town almost my entire life. I went to DePaulo Middle School. I've worked at DePaulo Middle School and Kennedy Middle School. Sixth grade, as we all know, is such a crucial transition point. I see this every single day in this classroom. The individualized attention I've been able to give math students in these classrooms in sixth grade cannot be replicated. I can tell you it is not replicated in any of my seventh grade classes. I'm very, very concerned about the ripple effect this will have, not just on our incoming sixth graders, but in other places throughout the district. At the end of the day, if there is a reallocation and those two teams are eliminated, the district is still going to be down 6 teachers. That's going to be felt other places as well. I'm not sure how easy it would be to just reinstate these positions once they're eliminated. As I said in my remarks 2 weeks ago, I've never seen that happen before except with middle school sports. That makes me a little bit concerned about where this road will lead. They, at Kennedy, have 50 years of combined experience. I'm not sure just if their positions are preserved just by virtue of attrition. I'm not convinced that that necessarily produces the same results. I just don't personally believe that that's how it works. I urge you to exhaust every possibility before you take the step of eliminating these 2 teams at the middle schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I am Sue Walsh. I live at 146 Old Cider Mill Road. I am one of the 6th grade teachers whose position is being eliminated, possibly. I feel that eliminating the half teams at both middle schools, while it may be better for the budget, is not what is best for our students. At this time, when our students need more, we will be giving them less. Students with special education needs, those with counseling services, those that require interventions for math and/or language arts are at an all-time high. Yet by condensing the student population into the 2 remaining 6th grade teams at each school, increased class sizes will prevent the much-needed individualized education they require. Additionally, the impact this will have on our teachers is not without cost. Our impacted teachers are paying for it. The added stress in an occupation that seems to be becoming more stressful each year is a cost not listed on your balance sheet, but a very real cost nonetheless. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Christy Dupre. I'd like to share my perspective tonight. I stand before you not just a member of this community, but a teacher completing my 18th school year with over 7 years at the elementary level, over 2 years as a math curriculum specialist, and 8 years as a middle school math teacher. I am a parent of 2 children attending 2 schools in this district. I'd like to say these qualifications make me kind of an expert on 11 and 12-year-olds. I have the unique opportunity to teach 6th grade students for a combination of 10 years, experiencing the different perspectives districts have on whether these pre-adolescents are best placed in an elementary level or at the secondary level. I taught 6th grade for 2 years in an elementary school, and the other 8 years with those that get to call themselves middle schoolers. And I know there's a lot to say about this immense transition phase in their lives. This major milestone does not just impact them academically, but physically and emotionally, especially in the highly digital world they are growing up in. For some, the step up into middle school is a welcome change, and they thrive. However, this is not true for all students. They enter a new school year with a lot of fear, uncertainty, and anxiety. Over the last 8 years, my new students have shared that they stressed over getting lost in the new building, missing their bus, making friends, who are they going to sit with at lunch, or even if they could figure out how to open up their locker. This is all coupled with the sadness they felt after leaving behind the security of their one classroom teacher experiences they depended on and were provided with since kindergarten. Having 3 teams at both middle schools in town has allowed teachers and counselors the ability to help ease the transition for our students. By taking that away, you're putting all that burden on fewer adults and adding to the already elevated stress and anxiety of 11-year-olds. 11. Eliminating a team at each middle school opens the door for the potential of one day seating 30 students in a classroom. I can only imagine what that would look like. Forget about those collaborative groups that we talk about as good educators. Reimagine those desks sitting in single file rows that your grandparents once sat in. And let's just forget about the research that highlights that small class sizes lead to more individualized attention, better test scores, less discipline issues, and a more positive school climate. All educators know that large class sizes are not conducive to learning, especially when this age, 11 and 12, is a critical and needy time in their development, not to mention students whose early education was halted due to a pandemic. This will mean that building the critical relationships between teachers and students will be met with even greater challenge. This whole thing makes me very sad, and I sympathize with all the middle school teachers, students, and parents that will be impacted by this. Even if what I have to say before you today has little to no impact on your decision to vote tonight, I just hope my message reaches these 5th grade parents. Please know that the teachers who love your children we haven't even met yet tried to do right by them, and we tried.
Good evening. My name is Amy Perry. I live at 268 Hitchcock Road. I too am a 6th grade teacher at Kennedy Middle School, though. I was appointed on Team 6C, the split team, by Mr. Benancy about 10 years ago. I am 6A now, but many of my co-teachers need my support tonight. First of all, I want to thank you all for your service. I've been teaching 6th grade for 10 years, been at Kennedy for 18 years, been an educator since 1995. Our 6C is a very special team. These teachers provide support for these kids. These kids are placed on this team because they have needs that need to be met. They come in with hearing issues. They come in with anxiety issues. A lot of them come in because they can't make friends. And we teachers help them make friends, help them make these bonds. And eliminating this team is going to do a huge disservice for these children. I think we made gains this year with the smaller class sizes. We're closing that educational gap. We made gains. We've seen those results in SBAC. We don't want to take that step behind, right? If we have these class sizes right now are 21.2, but we could have a huge influx this summer, and that could be bigger class sizes. Those cooperative groups, we won't be able to do anymore. Like she said, we'll have the rows. I urge you to change your vote or to vote for these teachers to stay, for the kids, not for the teachers, for the kids. The kids need these teachers. I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Amy. Is there anyone else that wants to speak about an agenda item? No? Okay. Thank you. Moving on to committee reports, the policy and personnel. Mr. Williams?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Policy and Personnel Committee met on June 1st. The committee reviewed Policy 3641, Transportation, which was last revised in 2018. The committee also reviewed Policy 6161, Equipment, Books, and Materials, since it was last reviewed in 2002. No change to either policy was made, although language to the associated administrative regulations were reviewed. These regulation edits were offered as informational since regulations do not require board approval. The Special Education Audit Review provided an update of the ongoing work since the full board's presentation during September 2022. Two specific slides from the presentation were the focus. The first slide illustrated that the special education budget comprises nearly a third of the overall Southington Public School budget. The second highlighted the number of certified staff and uncertified staff within the special education budget as compared to like districts. This analysis is being used to determine appropriate instructional models and staffing levels across all buildings. The suggested edits to the human resources manager job descriptions were discussed, and they were approved as presented in your packages tonight.
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Williams. Superintendent's report, the personnel report.
Yes, Madam Chair, I recommend that the Board of Education approve the personnel report as submitted by the Human Resource Department.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Old business, town government communications. Do we have? No? Okay. Next item, 8B, 23-24 operating budget reallocation, adoption.
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
Motion that the Board of Education adopt a 2023-2024 operating budget in the amount of $110,460,653.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Mrs. Carmody?
Yes, I would, first of all, I want to thank the administration for all that they have done to bring to us, board members, all answers to all the questions that we have had. You presented to us what was told to us was a level service budget. And I believe, sincerely believe, it is my charge as a member of the Board of Education to provide our students with the same level services that they deserve. And this budget does not do that. And therefore, and I appreciate that we were able, as a board, to table the motion 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, to see if we were going to get any more money. And I believe, you can correct me, Mr. Medancy, we did not get enough to reinstate the 6 teachers. Listening and talking to the teachers and understanding the impact it has on students, I cannot support this budget.
Anyone else? Mr. Oshana?
Yeah, so I did, and I thank the board for entertaining the motion to postpone last meeting, because it was important to go back and see what kind of money we could potentially get from the state. And we did get, or it appears we may get some, but it's not enough to cover the deficit. The problem I have, and I've had a problem from the beginning, is that we were presented a budget from the superintendent, and as Mrs. Carmody said, our job is, well, actually, it's not only to provide a level services budget, it's to try to meet the needs of our students, to continue to educate them and have them grow into more critical thinkers and develop the job and career and college ready. And that's not keeping level services, that's continuing to add programs and helping them develop the skills that they need, like this CNA program that came up tonight that we talked about, and other programs. We had the meeting a couple meetings ago about a lot of the new electives that are out there that we want to have our kids to have the opportunity to get involved in and learn and grow. But, so you presented us with a budget, and before it even went to the Board of Finance, this board cut it we cut our own budget. I've never seen us cut our own budget before. And those cuts, I mean, it was about $622,000 roughly of cuts before we actually sent it to the finance board. That money, don't know if it would have stayed in, don't know if finance would have cut us that amount. They cut us some more. Don't know if that would have been cut, but that would have been enough to keep these teachers in place. But so in theory, we cut teachers, we cut school safety, and we cut school security before we even sent the budget to finance, and that's devastating. So we made the motion last time. We did not get the answers that we had hoped we would have gotten from the state. So it looks like we don't have enough money to keep these positions in place. And I have a fear that once something gets cut, it's never coming back. I can't support this budget. I haven't supported it much from the beginning, and I'm going to be voting no this evening.
Mr. Darrenowski.
And I agree with Mrs. Carmody and Mr. Oshana. The intent of this board has always been to support the needs of the students. We present a budget to the town. They fund it as best they can. But in this particular instance, I think, we're put in an awkward position. I mean, we have to cut programming. Our needs are going to be getting bigger at the high school, okay, with laws that are being implemented, at the high school level. And my understanding is there is still an outside, although way outside, opportunity of some additional funding coming from the state, which we probably won't know for weeks. And, as it presently stands, I can't support this budget either. To me, it's we're doing a disservice to the students, in the elementary and the high school. We just can't keep going and presenting a curriculum in the Southington school system with what we have for funds. And I do appreciate what the administration did, looking to take a little bit out of every account. It still wasn't even close to being where we needed to be. It is a funding issue. Fortunately, we don't have the ability to fund our own budget. We have to rely on the state grants as well as the town. I will like to add something, maybe not in this motion, but any non-lapsing monies that do become available, in the event we cannot put the sixth grade back, that extra team in the two middle schools, I would like to see that the non-lapsing accounts be used to support the sixth grade, either via paras or the extra help they're going to be needing in the classroom to support the needs of those kids.
That's not part of the motion, though.
If I could have it a separate motion, or we can add it part of the motion.
Can we talk, well, since it's adding to the agenda, could we talk about it perhaps at the next meeting? When perhaps we know a little bit more from the state? We could add it as an agenda item?
I won't be at the next meeting. I will be out of town. I presented that, so.
We could put it on the, we could add that to the agenda for the next meeting. Okay, okay. Anyone else wish to speak?
If I may, did we actually get a dollar amount that would have been added?
So the only outside chance, if we were to receive any funds, we know there's $235,000 that was added to the budget by the Board of Finance, as well as the share that the town received because of the MERS increase. What we don't know is the municipal employees retirement system doesn't meet until next week. We don't even know if they're going to take action next week at that meeting, but if they do take action next week, that would be the max that we would net. It's my understanding that we should not anticipate that much, even the 235, because I believe the police and fire unions up at the state level are still dealing with the COLA adjustment that will be made relative to a MERS reset, if you will, that was going back down to 0. So they're negotiating that now. So it would not, the highest it could be 235 if nothing changed. There's a high likelihood it would be less, which leaves us far short of the 505,000 we would need to reinstate those teachers.
Any further discussion? Could you do a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Bashevsky?
Yes.
Mrs. Anastasia?
Yes.
Mrs. Carmen?
No?
Mr. Carson?
Yes.
Mr. Sharnowski?
Yes.
Mr. Dearnowski?
No.
Mr. O'Shannah?
No.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mrs. Clark?
Yes. Motion passes. Next item is a second reading for policy.
Yes, Madam Chair, I move that the Board of Education approve policy 1316 as presented by the Policy and Personnel Committee.
Second?
Any discussion?
Second.
The second was Mr. O'Shannah. We'll wait until the room clears. Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next, Mrs. Anastasio,
Yes, I have some
motions.
motions to make. Move to approve the SHS Accelerated Biology Unit 2 Cell Structure and Function proposal as presented by the Curriculum and Instruction Committee.
Second?
Any discussion?
I said second.
Yeah, you said second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Move to approve the SHS Accelerated Biology Unit 4 Cell Cycle and Communication as presented by the Curriculum and Instruction Committee.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Move to approve the SHS Forensic Science 2 as presented by the Curriculum and Instruction Committee.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And finally, move to approve the K through 5 Math Curriculum Bridges Math Intervention as presented by the Curriculum and Instruction Committee.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. New business. We have a policy, 3541 transportation, it's the first reading, as well as policy 6161 equipment, books, and materials, first reading. But, Mr. Williams, you have a motion?
Yes, I move that the Board of Education approve the job description for Human Resource Manager as presented.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay. Public communications. 5 minutes. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Amrit Gaur. I live at 47 Teakwood Drive in Southington. I know that the motion is already passed, but I just wanted to just reiterate, as a student myself, I know how much Southington Board loves their student representation. And I think it's important to realize now that the motion has passed, what this comes along with. I know many of our teachers spoke about the ripple effect that this may take on our students. Personally, I never went to DePaulo or Kennedy. I was at a magnet school with a smaller class size, which helped me to where I am today. And then after high school, I was obviously, with the class sizes being greater at the high school than what I was used to, for my college experience, I chose to go back to smaller class sizes. So I think it's really important to know that now that this has been done, what the next steps would be to make sure that our students are still getting that individualized attention that we are already giving them now. Because as teachers would know best, and I'm sure many of you have been teachers or you've been role models for students or children of your own or to nieces and nephews. So for our students' best interest, just keep that in mind. That's all I urge. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Okay. Anyone else?
Michael Krasansky, 27 Hitching Post Drive. So I'm here to speak tonight about
a video that was recently shown at Kennedy Middle School. I believe it was in the homeroom that I was forwarded a copy of the video, and I watched it today. What is the time limit? 5. Okay. So, and I saw there was a letter, I believe the Kennedy principal sent out related to the video being shown. So it seems like some teachers are taking the opportunity to push any agenda they want without parents knowing or having a say, as evidenced by this Pride Month video being shown at Kennedy Middle School. So why is Pride Month only focused on sexuality and not a person's accomplishments? Don't we want students to be taking pride in what they accomplish as opposed to who they are sexually attracted to? Why is there all this focus on sexuality in schools today anyway? Also, why is there one Memorial Day, one whole Pride Month? If we're taking a month out to celebrate various group sexualities, then why are we not taking out other months to celebrate other groups? Who is making these decisions about which groups are celebrated in school and which are not? If I was in a group that was not celebrated by the school, wouldn't I then feel left out? Can we return back to focusing on academics and catch up with schools in many other countries who are surpassing us in this regard, and focus less on special interest groups? If kindness and accepting is the lesson these teachers want the kids to know, then they can teach the kids to be an ally to all students, not just a particular group. There are kids bullied in schools for all types of reasons, so why are we catering to one group? If I was being bullied for other reasons, I would think I was less important because of the lack of attention. And who are these educators to decide what makes someone an ally? Because according to them, if my daughter doesn't want to compete in sports against a biological male or share a bathroom with a biological male, well, then she's not an ally. So parents will continue to lose faith in the school system when teachers take it upon themselves to teach anything they want. That is not how it's supposed to work. I know parents who have and want to pull their kids out of public schools because they're losing faith in how it works. That's not good for anyone. Aside from that, many parents feel it is their role as parents to teach their kids about sexuality, not the federal government, state government, town government, or school. I feel that way and do not apologize for that. I do not want my child's teachers discussing sexual topics with her. I found that downright creepy. If some feel they want to have their kids watch this video or have other children watch this video or discuss related matters, then they can do that outside of school. Form a club in town and go at it. Many parents today are afraid to speak out on these topics for being bashed by various crowds. I'm not afraid, so I'm going to speak for those who do not have the courage to. I think society is hyper-sexualized today, and keeping a constant focus on this topic is unhealthy for children. I want my schools to be preparing kids to strive in math, sciences, English, foreign languages, and many other subject areas. I believe focusing on sexuality in schools is wrong and takes resources away from what the true mission of schools should be. Finally, what measures are being taken to ensure that staff are not taking education into their own hands and pushing agendas that are not in the curriculum? This seems to be a continuing trend where controversial, unapproved topics continue to be pushed in the Southington Public Schools. And this is just what we hear of, so we don't know other things that aren't brought to our attention. So that's all I have. It's concerning for me, so I'm hoping that this will be looked into by the board, and hopefully, these type of things can be prevented from happening in the future. And thank you for your work and your time on the board.
Susan Zabahansky from Working Street. I'm also here about the video that was shown at JFK to the middle school students. I have a slightly different perspective on it. I did see the video. There were many parents upset and those parents are afraid to come here and speak to you guys directly because they have children in the school system who have been targeted because of their faith beliefs. And I think this whole situation could have been avoided had the principal reviewed those 181 homeroom activity things that were sent out to her, especially with such a highly sensitive topic. I am certainly not against people of the LGBTQ plus community celebrating Pride. However, with diversity, equity, and inclusion, there should also be diversity of religion and faith and inclusion for people who have different opinions about sexuality. And I'm not saying that we should be teaching, I just don't think we should be teaching our children sexual orientation or celebrating any sort of sexual orientation, whether it be gay, straight, homosexual. I think we should be teaching our children to focus on academics. I don't know why we put such a big pressure on students as to who they have relationships with, especially in a middle school environment. I don't have a problem with there being a club after school. However, I do have a problem with there not being parental notification when such a topic is presented to a student in a classroom. And this is the problem that many of the parents who reached out to me were concerned about, the fact that there was not parental notification. This whole situation could have been avoided had there been parental notification that a video is going to be shown. And you guys know Pride Month is coming. So it's bad enough that many students have to have this, you know, in every classroom, in every hallway of the middle schools and the high schools. But to watch a video which not only just told the history of Pride Month, which I have no problem, history of the bullying that supposedly, you know, occurs in the LGBTQ plus community, but to tell the students as part of that video that they have to actively do something to support a community that their faith may not tell them they should support. That's not inclusion. That's not diversity. When you're singling out one group and then telling another group that they have to go against their faith and celebrate something, or they're not loving or kind to a person, is ridiculous. So that was the biggest problem I had with the video, but the whole thing could have been avoided had you guys just literally given parental notification and said, hey, this is going to be shown in homeroom, and given a parent an opportunity. And I think we need to be a lot more aware of that moving forward on sensitive issues that may go against someone's faith. You know, there's a 3% community, that's 3% population in our schools that's probably of the LGBTQ community. There's 30% who are Christians, I'm guessing, at least. So you're singling out one group and making another feel terrible. I've had administration tell me that people were homophobic because they believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. That's someone's religious belief, and there's no reason we should be telling anyone that they're homophobic because they have a certain religious belief. That's untrue. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Annie Wellington, 125 Vernondale Drive. I actually hold a doctorate in curriculum and instruction from Northeastern University, and listening to this discussion. I'm also a curriculum writer for the City of Hartford Public Schools, and listening to this discussion makes me a little sad that I chose to move my family back to Southington, to be perfectly honest. I'm a graduate of Southington High School and proceeded to continue on all the way to my doctorate, where positionality and who am I in this global community and who's around me was a major part of my studies. And it really made me think about the education I received in Southington and what I didn't know when I left Southington High School. So I would implore more focus in the curriculum on looking at global community and being a global citizen, because some of the comments being made prove that we're not doing enough of that right now. We need to be able to embrace all learners. Everyone needs to be able to be seen, accepted, recognized, and celebrated. We have Black History Month. We have Latin History Month. We have, I teach in Hartford. Every month is somebody's celebration. And that's a beautiful thing. We get to acknowledge everyone for who they are. We have an inclusivity statement in our district that we don't have in Southington, where we acknowledge and accept all learners as people who need to be educated and deserve a fair, right education. And we don't do that in Southington, and that's hard to swallow. As somebody who was very proud of my education in Southington when I moved on to college and felt very prepared for higher education, I would like to have the same for my children. And that's something that we as a board need to acknowledge and that we need to work toward. The conversation earlier about level of service and maintaining, we shouldn't be looking to maintain, we should be looking to grow and build. So we as a community need to do better for our kids.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Effie Mutajanas, 53 Rustic Oak Drive. I just want to say I kind of love nights like this because we start with so many great celebrations for our kids. And, you know, we're turning out great kids. They are, well, I don't think we give them enough credit, really. And they show up and they tell us what they need. We have our educators showing up and telling us what they need. And I think it's an awesome contrast when we get this other dystopian view of the schools and the students and the teachers. So I honestly, I hope you're listening to the actual students that are showing up here. Our representatives are awesome. They have the pulse on what's going on. And I hope you're listening to the teachers. And I'm not buying into this dystopian, you know, everything socially is going down the tubes type of stuff. I believe in our town. I believe in our students. I believe in our teachers. I think they're doing a great job. You know, again, I'm disappointed about the cuts in the staff. That's going to have a trickle-down effect. So whatever we can do to bring that back or bring it back up, I'd appreciate that. The theatrics that I've seen the last 3 years in this town is amazing. I hope we honestly get back to like doing the work that needs to get done. You know, we need to support the students and the teachers and give them a great education to go out in the world. You know, it's not just reading whatever the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic. Not that anymore, sorry. You know, there's a lot more to deal with in this world. And we need to make the students ready to go out in the world. We can't sequester them to this town. So I, you know, have been coming to these meetings for 2 years, and I know you guys are working hard to make that happen, and I really hope that you continue to really listen. I'm all for the student reps becoming part of the board. That's an excellent idea. My favorite part is listening to the kids talk and telling us what's going on. That's literally my favorite part. So hope you keep working hard. I appreciate all of you doing what you can. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Katie Wade, 39 Madeline Lane. I was actually late tonight because I was over at Kennedy Middle School where I have a 6th grader, and might surprise you, but I'm the kind of person who starts everybody see the videos, anybody, you know. I don't feel that there is an undercurrent of people who have a problem with this, but I believe there is a handful of people who would like to be notified. I don't have a problem with notifying parents of the curriculum that's going to be taught in the schools. But we want an inclusive community. We don't want bullying. We want our kids to learn about these things. I agree that the teachers should have had it approved, but if you've watched the video, they weren't teaching about sexuality. They were teaching about the history of Pride Month. It was benign. That's all. I don't think that there is a large group of parents at Kennedy Middle School who had a problem with this. I've heard nothing from parents. I bet if you ask the principal of Kennedy Middle School, at this point she's received more emails from parents who want to know why that video isn't being shown more widely, what the curriculum will be that they're going to share with our kids about Pride Month. I just feel like this is sort of a manufactured problem, which seems to be an ongoing problem for the town of Southington. We're finding problems that don't really exist. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. I need a motion for executive session.
Yeah, move to go into executive session, excluding the public and the press for the purpose of discussion with unaffiliated compensation.
And upon conclusion.
And upon conclusion, going back into open session.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Okay. We're coming back out. Yeah, we have to come back out.
I always get confused.
Oh, I'll take my email too. Where's my phone?
You're taking it back.
We should have it. Krakow. You take my email. You're good to go. So, let's get at it.
Let me go. Sorry. I just want to say hi before I leave it.